We are going to start today a topic which is very important for HR professionals, which is the operational excellence, or what I would call it, because in operational excellence we are going to focus more on Lean and Six Sigma. So Lean and Six Sigma for HR professionals. Okay, so before I start, I want to start with a story. You know, in 2012, I was working as a senior manager HR with the company, and my CEO was telling me one day that Yogesh, maybe for HR department, you guys need to look into operations more closely, especially in production. I'm not happy with HR's input in my production. And it was my initial days in the company, first 2-3 months in the company. And I was like, okay, you have any suggestions for me? What should I do? And he suggested that why don't you learn about, or why don't you teach people, train people on concepts like Lean and Six Sigma? And being an HR professional, I had no clue what he's talking about. What is Lean? What is Six Sigma? And I said, but I have HR certification, I have HR, masters, I have knowledge of labor law. Why I need to learn about Lean and Six Sigma? And he says, no, I think you are mistaken when it comes to Lean and Six Sigma. This is more about process excellence. So right now, HR department's focus is entirely on people. What if you focus on process also? Because most of the times the problem, people are not able to bring change, people are not able to implement your trainings, your suggestions, which means the whole HR department, is process. Some process is stopping them. If we can fix those processes as well, it will be a seamless implementation of what you have learned. And I was like intrigued. Okay, let me then find out what is Six Sigma. So I thought, what is the best place to learn about Six Sigma? And I was from Delhi, so there is IIT in Delhi. So I went there. I said, I want to learn about Six Sigma. And they said, you have to first pass green belt, and then you can pass black belt. So I started my green belt training with them. And right from the first module, first session, like a bulb got switched on in my mind. And I was first time able to understand why HR is not able to make big impact on the organization. And right from the first lecture I attended, I became fan of Six Sigma and Lean. So the purpose of this module is also to make you aware of what is Lean and what is Six Sigma. There are two tools that requires months of learning. The story that I was telling you, let's continue that. That year I completed my green belt. After 6 months, I completed my black belt also. After completing black belt, I trained 14 professionals in my company in Lean Six Sigma green belt. After 1 year, the result was, the first year itself, we saved 2 million dirham as saving from Six Sigma projects. When I came to UAE also, I applied the same principles in one company where we saved 3.5 million dirham. And in both the places, the results were same. In the first company where I applied Six Sigma and Lean principles, and we saved 2.5 million dirham for the company, 5 crore Indian rupees. That year I got 50% increment. And my CEO said, you deserve more, because what you have done is going to save these dollars for many years to come. So I appreciate that, and I want more people to do this in the company. And later on, when I came here as a consultant, I was there in this company for one small project. The company ended up offering me full-time job as head of HR for the company. But I was already into consulting, so I said, no, I don't want to work right now, because it was in Abu Dhabi and I was in Dubai, with my family is in Dubai. Plus I'm doing something which I like doing, which is training, right? Training and consulting. So anyway, I can do consulting outside of an organization better. So what I found is that this is very powerful for any HR professional to learn about processes and to become a process expert, not just people expert. Now, to what I'm saying, the same thing is actually justified by, there is this 2015 report which I'm going to share with you about of UAE government. But first of all, let's talk about the importance of processes. Why processes are important? So processes are vital in 21st century because everything you know is going to change. It has changed in last 10 years, right? In the last 10 years, the way we used to work 10 years ago or 20 years ago, everything now works differently. Your finances, your IT, your sales, your marketing, your HR, everything works differently, right? In the next 10 years, what is going to happen? Exponentially things will change. AI will revolutionize everything. It will change everything, the way we do things. Robotics will come into picture. Automation will happen more. So in these changing times, what is happening? There are a lot of digital disruptions. Another trend is distributed workforce. Right now in my company, I have someone sitting in India, someone sitting in Afghanistan, someone sitting in Dubai, someone sitting in France, one of my consultant. And I have no problem in managing. I never felt like somebody who is sitting in Afghanistan or somewhere else is not contributing to the company. Because today we can manage workforce from anywhere. If you design jobs properly, only then of course. Globalization of talent is there. Today we all are moving towards becoming agile, flexible as an organization to adapt technology, and there is a lot of social media and privacy issues we have. So the processes that you are using today, they are going to more or less be refined. We need to continuously refine our processes, right? That's why Lean and Six Sigma, they are great tools for today's organizations. If you look at the modern trends in HR, like shared services, HR is now in many companies where corporates are having one shared service center which is giving services to all HR department. Think about the biggest problem that you face when you have shared service center in the company. The biggest problem is people. People hate change, and whenever you are changing a process to something new, people oppose that. People don't like change. And simple things we don't like in changing in life, like for example, changing your bed side, which side you sleep at night. Changing that is a big change, right? Now, imagine you are changing a system, a tool, your Outlook or something else. It is going to cause big discomfort for you. So shared services are a challenge to implement because people usually don't support it easily. That's why we need to think about designing the process again. Because I'll share this case study with you in one of other units where we'll discuss what is the biggest challenge in implementing shared services. Then we have embedded HR. So an HR that is in business, that is embedded in the business units, the concept of HR BPs, etc. And then we have the strategic or corporate HR. So even if you are in corporate HR, you need to learn how to modify, refine processes. So that's the report I was talking about. In 2015, UAE government actually published this study. And what the gist of that is that HR departments in UAE organizations, they need to move from transactional to transformational HR. They need to move from the compliance-oriented, administrative-oriented HR to strategic HR. They need to shift from systems to processes. They need to use quality tools in HR, and they should use Six Sigma methodology in HR. What are the benefits of doing this? You can see these are some of the benefits. If you use tools like Six Sigma or any quality tool in HR, immediately you will see a rise in efficiency. If you ask today, what is the number one KPI for a CHRO or head of HR? The number one KPI would be employee productivity or profitability of the business, right? So for HR department, for a recruiter, it might be time to fill, right? It might be the quality of hiring. But for CHRO, as you become HR leader, the KPI has to be productivity. What is your ROI on your manpower cost, right? So we need to do that, and Six Sigma lean tools help us to do that. Have a standardized approach, making right decisions. Right decisions only happen with data, isn't it? So data oriented decision making rather than what you feel is good for humans. People in organizations, it doesn't matter how much we talk about HR should be good to humans, etc., etc. Organizations exist because they are making money, right? They are generating an ROI on all the costs, including manpower cost. The day an organization stops generating ROI on any cost, that cost will be eliminated. It can be the HR department, it can be the sales department, it can be the finance department, right? The day that department stops adding or stops producing a return on investment, it will no longer be part of the business. So how HR, due to its data literacy, can help strategic decisions and lead to cost reduction. So that's the objective of using Lean and Six Sigma. These are the benefits of using Lean Six Sigma as per UAE government. So what we are going to learn today? We are going to learn two things, Lean tools and Six Sigma methodology. If you see here, I have written Lean tools and management. In Six Sigma, I have written methodology. I have not written Six Sigma management because there is nothing called Six Sigma management, but there is something called Lean management. And that's where we need to understand the difference also. Often people will not be able to differentiate what is Lean and what is Six Sigma. Often we see these terms together, right? So if I ask you what is the difference, very few people will be able to at least able to understand the difference. There is a clear difference. Lean is a mindset. Six Sigma is a methodology. Lean is here. I always say Lean is here and Six Sigma is here. That's the difference. So Lean is how you think. Six Sigma is the process, what you do. The purpose of Lean is to eliminate waste, reduce waste, and enhance value. Value means, what do you understand by value? Like, what value Lean and Six Sigma enhance? So what is the value? Value of time, okay. Cost. Save cost, okay. Okay, so the real meaning of value is anything that improves customer experience. Anything that enhances customer happiness, that is value. Who is the customer here? Your end customer of your business. Remember, HR department exists for the end customer, not just for employee. We keep employees happy because then employees will keep the customer happy. So in the end, it's all about the end customer, right? That's why we keep people happy, not because it's good to keep them happy. Of course, it's good as well. But our objective is to make end customer happy. And value means anything that makes your customer happier is value. So value enhancement means creating your services or products in such a way that your customer becomes happier. So how we can make customer happy, for example? What we can do to make customer more happy? We can improve quality, right? Isn't it? We can reduce time, supply time, right? We can, what about cost, what about pricing? Optimize, which means reduce the pricing, right? If we increase quality, reduce time, reduce pricing, customer will be happy, right? So when we as an HR, when we start thinking what is going to impact our customer positively, we are thinking in terms of value now, okay? Purpose of lean is to enhance value at each step in your organization, and that's the meaning of quality as well. Like there's a famous term which I want to use here, doing things right first time itself, that is quality. Doing things right first time itself. So that is lean, which is a mindset of continuous improvement, continuous value enhancement, and reducing waste. When you reduce waste, value enhances automatically, right? Six Sigma, on the other hand, is a methodology where we use number of steps, number of 5 phases that we use, 5 steps that we use, which reduce variance in a process. Variance means reduces defects. If you are making products, it will help you make less defective products. So the rate of DPMO, as we call it, defects per million opportunity for Six Sigma is 3.4, which means if you make 1 million products, 3.4 can be defective, not more than that, which is 99.9996% purity. That's the beauty of Six Sigma. In services, of course, it means following your process and bringing the same quality of service all the time. That is again Six Sigma level quality. Now, let's first talk about lean and then we'll go to Six Sigma. So lean is a great thing to implement. Every company should implement lean. But the problem with lean is not easy to implement. Why? It's very simple. It's very simple. What is more difficult to change? Your mind or the action that you do? What is more difficult to change? Mind. Right? Action, you can always try a new way of doing things. Okay, let me try this new process. Anyone can adopt it with less resistance. But changing the mindset requires a lot actually. Changing the mindset is not easy. What is then lean mindset? We'll understand that. But first, the heart of lean is HR. You cannot bring lean without focusing on HR. What do you mean by that? Let me show you something. Toyota, which is one of the biggest case studies of lean implementation. This is the house of lean that they created around 80 years ago. And you see, in the house of lean, the foundation is standardized work, level scheduling, and Kaizen. What is that? Standardized work means everything has a process. Nothing happens without process. Level scheduling means the burden is not on few, but everyone shares the burden of work. And it is a much complex concept in terms of manufacturing. We'll discuss it some other day. And Kaizen. Kaizen means Kai plus Zen. Kai means improving, Zen means work. So Kai means good also. So good work. Good work is continuously improving work. So these are the foundations of lean at Toyota. And then they have pillars, just in time, quality. But you see, what is at the center of house of lean? Respect for people. Let's say I come to this room and I say, hey, this room requires a lot of revamping and improvement. And then we all say, yes, yes, this room requires a lot of improvement. And then we come back 1 week later and we again say, this room requires a lot of improvement. And then after 1 week, we again come and say, this room requires a lot of improvement. Will it improve? No. Why? Because you need people to think about it, what improvement. We need people to change things. Currently, with machine learning, AI is trying to improve itself, but we are not yet there where we can improve things in the world with the help of AI. Not yet there. Maybe in future we will be there where you will apply AI and AI will tell you what to improve here. But right now, we as humans need to understand what needs to be improved. So people bring continuous improvement, hence respect for people. Why respect for people then? We just pay them to bring improvement, right? I pay you, improve this. Can money buy you improvements? Creativity, innovation? No. Then how come creativity, how we can breed creativity in a company? I think the only way to bring creativity in a company is by respecting people. Simple. If you want to bring efficiency in your company, only it can happen by respecting people. And this is a famous example I always give. Imagine I have a driver whom I treat with respect. And I take care of his needs. I treat him like a fellow human being. And then there is a driver whom I treat as a driver. I do not allow him inside my house. I treat him more like just a servant. Even I don't believe in the concept of servants, by the way. And especially our Southeast Asia, this part of the world, China, India, we have to come out of that mindset of servant. There is nothing called servant, right? We all are equals. So if the nature has made us equals, then this is how we should treat each other. So in this case, the driver now is not treated with the same respect. Which of the two drivers will take care of my car better? The first one. Which car or which driver, which vehicle will require more maintenance cost? The second one. Why? Why my second car with a servant driver requires more maintenance cost? Because when I respect my driver, he will respect my car. When I disrespect the driver, he can't disrespect me back, he is going to disrespect my car. And that's exactly what brings inefficiency in companies. That's why there is a lot of inefficiency in government departments, because there is no respect for each other. The more we respect each other, you will see the more efficiency comes in, because then people think the person trusts in me, believes in me, respects me, I have to give something back. Hence people start giving back to your business, which is continuous improvement. And you see what Toyota got out of it. Highest quality, lowest cost, shortest lead time, highest service level. That was their goals. If you look at the market, automobile market today, I don't have much knowledge about cars and EVs especially, but if I Google what is the longest running engine in automobile industry, you'll find Toyota. Right? That's why resale value of Toyota cars are the best. So I'm a fan of Toyota cars, because you don't lose money when you buy a Toyota car. So that happens when you have respect for people. Can you identify what are the core teaching of Lean? What are the core principles of Lean? If you look at both the examples that were presented. Number one is continuous improvement. And number two is respect for people. If you look at what we call today Toyota Way, Toyota Way is exactly the same. There are two major pillars of lean thinking: continuous improvement and respect for people. And if you look at the Toyota Way says that there are two things which are most important for us: continuous improvement and respect for people. Now, when we say continuous improvement, there are concepts like how do I improve my processes continuously? Can you just share some ideas? What do you think? What could lead to continuous improvement? Productivity. If you improve productivity, okay?
If you simplify complex processes.
Simplify processes. Good, 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 good. So in Toyota, they have 3 subunits of continuous improvement as a value. One is challenge. Second is Kaizen. Third is Genchi Gunbutsu or Gemba Workx. Toyota strongly believes that all the improvements that come at work, they only come when you challenge people to do something more than what they are doing or to improve things furthermore. If you get satisfied with your processes, you stop growing, you stop improving, isn't it? You have to continuously look for what I can improve in my existing company. And that reminds me of the idea of optimization of human beings. You can optimize resources such as this marker. It can be easily optimized. I will put this to the maximum use. Indians are usually good at optimization, right? We buy a shirt and then we wear it for 3-4 years maybe. I mean, in 10 years ago at least. Nowadays no, of course, but you wear it for 2-3 years and then what you do with that shirt? Do you throw it away? No, we either maybe pass on to my son. That is one option. If I don't do that, then maybe my wife will cut that shirt and use that cotton cloth for something, right? So first it will go to kitchen, right? So that will be used by my wife or someone else at home to clean the kitchen shelf, etc. It's a good cotton cloth, right? Now let's say it further gets deteriorated. Then we throw it? No. Then we use it to clean our washroom. Right. So Indians are big at optimization of resources. But resources we can optimize. This shirt can be optimized. But what about human beings? I don't think, if I am not exaggerating, I don't think in the living 8 billion of the humans on this planet who are living, anyone could with confidence say, I have achieved my 100% potential. No one can say that. Or I am giving 100% to my company or my work that I am doing. That's not true. We have not achieved 100% potential. But you may say, I am working 20 hours, 15 hours, 16 hours. Great, you are working, but are you optimized? Are you putting yourself to the best possible use? The answer will always be no. Because we don't use all our ability at once. We only use 10% of our mind. We are always distracted. We are doing multiple things at a time. So we never use our abilities 100%. What I am trying to say, human resources can be far more optimized if we learn more about human psychology, human behavior, energy in the human system. If we learn that, like for example, what are the best hours of working? Highly debatable. Is 9 to 6 the best time to work for humans? I don't think so. It works for everyone. I feel most productive when I work in the morning, around let's say 5 to 6:30 or 7. Those are my most productive hours. In those 2 hours, I can do things which I will do 8 hours at my office. So there is so much to learn about human behavior and especially human productivity. So we can't say that humans are optimized. Hence, no company can ever say that they don't need optimization. All organizations can optimize their resources, and mostly you can always optimize human resources better. You can use those resources as a better use. For example, tell me someone who is working as a bellboy in a hotel, the same bellboy in 20 years becomes a CEO, the same guy. So which is his more optimized form? As as a bellboy or as a CEO? More optimized. CEO, because he is being more productive, he can now bring millions of dollars inside the business and makes millions of dollars for the business now. So he's now more optimized, right? How he became more optimized? By learning, by continuously improving himself, by growing, and there was some self-respect in him, some self-worth in him. Otherwise, he could have said, I will always, this is my life, I will be a bellboy forever, right? So, if we do these two things, continuous improvement and respect for people, which means respect people for who they are without trying to change them. Respect even when they are different. Respect even when they do not have the same nationality. Respect even when they don't speak the same language, etc. Only then you can bring efficiency, otherwise you won't. Now, this is a research by some of the top resources, like for example, HR Leadership Council came up with similar research. Now, if you look here, the top performers in terms of employee satisfaction are when you involve people in decisions, when people are encouraged to improve things and they are challenged to improve things. Which means, think about it, humans work best when you want them, or when you show trust in them, that I trust you and you can be better. If this is the way we handle people, people always do better. When you truly believe in people, that I truly believe that your potential is far more what you are doing now, the person will show you improvement. It happens with everyone. So, when you involve people in decision making, when you encourage them to come with better ideas, when you recognize them for good job, when people find their jobs fair, people actually perform better. And they are more satisfied also. To prove this, we can have a look at theory X, Elton Mayo's theory and Dick Lean's theory. Theory X says workers don't like to work, we have to make them work. Now, this is not an accurate representation of humans. That they don't want to work, you have to somehow make them work. Now, this is not an engaged employee for sure, right? This is more like a labor or slavery. Elton Mayo says a happy worker is a productive worker. Is it true? If we make people happy, will they become productive? Is it true? No, it's not true. Because there are examples of many happy workers who are not productive. For example, many government employees, they are happy in their jobs, right? You don't have to worry about anything. Every month you are getting salary, job is secure, they are happy. They will announce lunchtime 15 minutes before and they will open window 15 minutes later. They are happy in their job. Are they productive? I doubt that seriously. So, a happy worker is a productive worker is also not true. Now, Dick Lean says at John Deere that a productive worker is a happy worker. Now, that sounds interesting, because if I make someone productive, he will naturally become happy. How is it so? The best way is you test it in your own experience, in your job, what you are doing. If you go to office and you have written down 4 things that I have to achieve today by end of the day, and you achieved all the 4, do you need any external motivation to become happy? You yourself will feel satisfied, if not happy. You will feel satisfied and happy. Oh, I did something nice today. If the boss appreciates, then it's even better, because there is this fairness that comes into play, that I worked hard and he appreciated me. Dopamine hit. But even if that doesn't happen, you feel better because you did achieve something. So, Lean believes in the third principle, which is to make people productive and they will be happy. Our job as Lean manager, Lean leader is to make people productive. They will naturally start becoming happy. Okay? A great example is Southwest Airlines. If you have boarded Southwest Airlines, they are known as one of the happiest airlines. The air hostesses, the way they treat their customers, or the decision-making ability they have when it comes to what they want to say in flight and some of their training programs, that's why this is one of the best places to work in America continuously. And can you believe that they have never laid off the staff, and they were continuously for 40 years before 2020, they were always in profits. Even 2011, they were not in losses when 9/11 happened. So this is a great airlines that follows lean principles. And if we ask them what is the secret, so these are some of the highlights of Southwest. I want you to just read it. So naturally, such a company becomes a favorite of both investors and employees. I have been an investor in Southwest Airlines, and I have made good profits after 2020, especially when the market was down. Still the shares of Southwest are down, which I'm not sure in future will again jump, but I'm not a financial expert. But yes, that's what makes Southwest so successful. They do these three things: shared goals, shared knowledge, mutual respect. Goals should be shared. We all should work towards a common purpose. We should have shared knowledge where we all share the same pool of knowledge so that we all can grow from there, and we have to mutually respect each other. When we respect each other, productivity improves. So what do we learn from Southwest Airlines? What we learn is that open and honest communication is the hallmark of lean thinking. And this is what we get when we have productive workforce. Satisfied customer, assets are utilized, low turnover of employees, engaged employee, and happy employee. This is what we get. Now let's look at lean teams. Lean teams believe in mutual respect for all people in jobs. Lean leaders believe that we need to together find a solution. Lean leaders don't push you to go and find a solution yourself. They actually help you to find a solution together. Right, so lean teams lead to improved productivity, the features of lean teams are there is a sense of mutual respect. Everyone is given equal importance because everyone is equal in a process. Difference of opinion is valued. If you disagree with me, that is seen as value. Open, honest communication and feedback. Aligned goals, and there is better teamwork or synergy. And naturally, when you just do one thing, when you challenge people to do better and respect them, they will obviously give you all these things. This is the lean leadership style. If you see, old style says do it my way, the empowerment style of West says do it your way, lean style says follow me and let's figure out together. Let's find out solutions together. So, how HR can lead the organization to lean? HR can help develop a lean culture, as we call it. HR can design new organization structure that helps lean. HR can transform and build lean teams. HR can do lean training. HR can integrate lean management into the system. So, first of all, HR can contribute better by learning lean tools. Some of the lean tools I would like to highlight here. For example, the first lean tool that I personally like a lot is called value stream mapping. If you remember, we discussed in the beginning what is value. Value means fulfilling what a customer expects from your business, and how to enhance the experience of the customer, how we can make it better. We can only do it when we understand the process of customer service. Everything starts from a customer, ends at a customer. For example, you look at your sales. The initiation of sales happen from your customer, isn't it? The customer requests for an order or a service. So it starts from the customer. Even when you make product, it starts from the customer. You look at your customer and then you design your product, right? Everything starts from a customer and everything ends at the customer. So here is customer and here is customer. And in between, whatever abracadabra we do, we call it business, right? Operations or your organization. So we do here something which makes this person happy, right? So what do you think? What we need to do to make this customer happy is what you call business, right? That's the simplest definition of business, no? It starts with customer, end with customer, and all you need to do in any business to become successful is make your customer happier after your products and services, right? That is a successful business. If you do not achieve that, will we call it a successful business? No, that's not a successful business. Then you will be able to sell them only once. You will never be able to resell them. But if you make them happy, you resell them. You retain the customer. Now, value stream mapping teaches us how to map these stages. Sometimes we call it CPOC analysis also. Supplier, input, process, output, control. How we use these SIPOC and find value opportunities in each of these stages. How value flows in an organization. How in the end you can make customer experience better. That's the purpose of value stream mapping. Eliminating waste, enhancing value. That's the one tool. So HR can bring value stream mapping through hiring quality people, creating the right training programs, compensation and benefits, right incentive programs, customer feedback, 360-degree survey, so many things, performance management. We can do so many things to enhance value by using value stream mapping. Second, another great tool of Lean is 5S. 5S stands for standardization. I will not go into details. You will find another video where I can share with you where you can learn more about 5S. Okay? So for standardization, 5S is a great tool. Third, very interesting tool which I use all the time called Pokayoke. Pokayoke means foolproofing. It's a Japanese term. Foolproofing. Making your processes, systems in such a way that even a fool cannot make a mistake. That is called Pokayoke. Like, for example, you cannot start your car without pressing brake pedals in automatic cars. That is Pokayoke. Or if you are not able to start without putting the seat belt, or there is a light that continuously signals you to put your seat belt, that is Pokayoke. Pokayoke means making things in such a way that even a fool will not make a mistake. Putting your SIM card in your mobile phone in the right manner is Pokayoke. Making a form where people just have to select, drag or select the location of their branch is Pokayoke. So creating forms in such a way that people will not make mistakes while filling those forms is Pokayoke. So these are some examples of Pokayoke. Creating KRA, KPIs and other systems in such a way that people don't make mistakes while evaluating your KRAs and KPIs. That is also Poka-yoke, right? So these are concepts. These are not like a tool which is called a software called Poka-yoke. No, it's a concept that when I design something, I will have Poka-yoke in my mind, right? Another tool is called flow. Lean flow. How to make sure that the value flows in your processes easily without stopping. For example, what spoils your hiring process? Maybe a bad manager decision. How you can avoid that? Maybe what makes your performance management system suck is lack of alignment with organizational goals. That's where flow will help us. So to create processes in such a way that the value continuously flows, there is no breaking of the flow. These are some examples of lean. There are many other lean tools which we can use. I just gave you some examples that we all can understand easily, being HR professionals. So the lean training believes that we need to develop people regularly, and if the learner hasn't learned, the teacher hasn't taught. That's the lean mindset. If the learner hasn't learned, the teacher hasn't taught. So the second concept is Six Sigma. Now, Six Sigma, there is a numerical and then there is sigma. What does it mean? So let us start from why. The question why. Why you need Six Sigma? Now, if I look at 3 Sigma level and 4 Sigma level or 3.8 Sigma level, 3.8 Sigma level means 90% accuracy. Now, is it enough? In fact, not 90, it's 99% accuracy. 90% is 3. 99% accuracy. Is it enough to have 99% accuracy? And the answer is no. Having even 99% accuracy is not enough. We need more than that. You may say, but it's good enough. Just rethink about it. If I say there is 99% chance that this flight will land, is it acceptable? There are 99% chances this operation will be successful. Is that also acceptable? No. So there, for example, 99% chances a website will open. Is it acceptable? No. These are not acceptable standards. We want our website to open all the time. We want our software to work all the time, the uptime as we call it. So that's why Six Sigma, which is 99.996% accuracy, is becoming popular. How it started? In 1950s at Motorola, the late Bill Smith, who was an engineer, along with Dr. Mikhail Harry, they both in 1986, Bill Smith at Motorola and Dr. Mikhail Harry, they actually started first Six Sigma project at Motorola. At that time, Robert Galvin, also known as Bob Galvin, was CEO of at Motorola. So he says that we need to improve our quality because quality sucks. So we need to improve. And these two gentlemen says, okay, we will create something which will help us improve our quality dramatically. And they built the first Six Sigma team. And because they were both fans of karate and all, hence the terms like belts, no? Like black belt, green belt, that come from there. It is said that Toyota, in this case Motorola saved $16 billion in revenue, which is 4.5% in the next 15 years of implementation of Six Sigma. $16 billion. And there was another gentleman, Jack Welch, who was the CEO of General Electric, implemented in 1995 Six Sigma, and by 2001 they have saved a similar amount of $11 to $16 billion in savings by applying Six Sigma. So Six Sigma was a secret sauce that some companies were enjoying, but over a period of time it became very popular and people started adopting Six Sigma. Now, if you look at Six Sigma level of purity, I already shared with you, this is an example of Six Sigma level quality, which is 99.9996 accuracy. So, Six Sigma means this, 3.8 Sigma means this, and of course 3.8 Sigma is not acceptable to us. Today, 82% of Fortune 100 companies use Six Sigma, 53% plus Fortune 500 companies deploy Six Sigma, which means all the most successful companies use Six Sigma. These are some examples. So, the goal of Six Sigma is to reduce defects to a maximum of 3.4 defects per million opportunities, and a defect is anything which is viewed as a variation by customer's eyes. Variations means change from the actual requirement. Okay? So anything that leads to customer dissatisfaction is a defect. Okay? And anything that leads to customer satisfaction is what we said in the beginning? Value. So in Six Sigma we have various roles. Like there is a sponsor. Sponsor is someone who sponsors the Six Sigma project. Of course, this person needs to understand importance and value of Six Sigma, and they should sponsor the overall initiative. Executive is someone who supports the Six Sigma initiatives and they link it with vision, mission and goals of the organization. The champions are those that are in your departments, production, operations, etc. They identify the right projects, they give resources, and they help you overcome roadblocks, like a department manager. Then there are master black belts. They are coaches that coach black belts. Then what is a black belt? Black belt is a Six Sigma, full-time Six Sigma consultant. Green belts are the part-time Six Sigma consultants. That's the difference. So, HR usually starts as a green belt. So, we as HR professionals, we can make Six Sigma as part of our life. We cannot be completely Six Sigma dedicated professional because we have to do our HR job as well. But having Six Sigma green belt enables us to work on Six Sigma on part-time basis. Then we have process owners. Process owners are those who are responsible for processes within Six Sigma projects, usually the domain experts, like maybe a payroll expert in payroll department. Then we have the main part, which is methodology of Six Sigma, right? So the key is methodology. So the methodology of Six Sigma is also known as DMAIC, D-M-A-I-C, DMAIC methodology. What is DMAIC methodology? Let's understand that. So the first in DMAIC methodology is define phase. We define what is a Six Sigma project. That's the first thing. Defining what is a Six Sigma project or whether it is a Six Sigma project or not. So, define. First of all, not every project is a Six Sigma project. See, Six Sigma is something where we are going to spend months on a project. Now, what do you think, what should be one quality of any Six Sigma project? Because you are going to, let's say, you are going to spend 6 months on this. What should be one of the main quality before you identify a Six Sigma project? It should be worth spending that time, right? So what we should get, how do we know if something is worth spending the time? In Six Sigma, we use a term called CTQ, critical to quality. Any process, project, system which is critical to quality for the customer can only be a Six Sigma project. Okay? In define phase, we see things from customer's eyes. Because in your eyes, your company is the best, your products are the best, your sales team is the best, your marketing is the best, your pricing is the best, your quality is the best. But what customer thinks, that's who you are, not what you think, isn't it? So, Six Sigma project starts from seeing things from customer's eyes. So, if you are the customer, if I have a customer, that's why one of the best way of identifying Six Sigma projects is to go to customer feedback. Start with customer feedback. See what customer is complaining. That could be your Six Sigma project, right? So, start with customer's eyes and find out critical to quality. Then do things which are practical and possible, which have a financial gain. And keep scope limited, or keep a limited scope. Don't try to boil the ocean. Don't boil the ocean. Okay? So that is, these are the features of Six Sigma projects. Now, what we get in define phase? From define phase, what we get is a project charter. Project charter is a document that tells us project statement or problem statement, which means what is the problem, where is the problem, how big is the problem, how much we can save, what is ROI, what are the, so this is all part of your problem statement. Then risk analysis, then team, then schedule, and then cost benefit analysis. All this is done in the first stage itself. That's why I always say it's nearly 50% important when for a Six Sigma project to spend good amount of time in define phase and defining your problem and start with a problem worthy of solving. Please remember, if the solution is known to you, then it is not a Six Sigma project. Six Sigma projects are the projects where you don't know the solution yet. You have to find a solution. So many times you'll be surprised that you thought you know the solution, but when you started the project, you realize you don't know the solution. Because if you have known the solution, you would have fixed it by now. You are not able to fix it means either you don't have the right solution, or you don't know the right process, or you don't have the right team, or you yourself are not educated enough to change that, right? Which is all part of your Six Sigma. So define. Then, now what are the tools that can help us define further? Tools like 80-20 analysis. like Pareto analysis, tools like histogram. Knowing that 80% of your problems come from 20% of the reasons. Let's work on those 20% reasons. Let's not waste our time on 80%. Isn't it? That's something that will help us during define. I hope it's clear to you. Of course, we have full methodology when we discuss in detail. Each stage requires minimum 1 or 2 module sessions to understand in detail. Next is measure. In measure, what we do is we do measurement system analysis. We analyze the data once again. We make sure the data is accurate. We understand what is the current sigma level. That's what we do in measure. Next is analyze. What we do in analyze phase? Analyze phase, we find out the root cause of the problem. So, there are many tools we use here, such as 5 why analysis, fishbone diagram, root cause analysis. You may even use tools like histogram and Pareto again here. So, just for an example like 5 why analysis, how powerful it is. For example, your company has a lot of attrition problem, a lot of people are leaving your company. If you ask these people why you are leaving the company, they would say, I have a family problem. Right? Now, if you go deeper, they don't actually have a family problem. Maybe they are leaving because they did not have good relationship with the manager. Right? So, manager was the problem. Although they are saying manager is my family, which is not true, isn't it? So, next time when somebody tells you, I have a family problem, then you should say, family means your manager? So, because that's the case in 80% of the, times. Now, if let's say they have a family problem or the manager problem, sorry, then why? If we ask, why we have a problem between manager-employee relationships? Then you could have 2-3 answers. One of the answers could be maybe the managers are not trained. In our company, managers don't know how to behave with their team members. They are not trained. But if you ask the next why managers are not trained? Because either we did not propose a training, we do not have a training, or the management do not give us funds for training. Right? Now, let's say why we do not have a training. Because the HR never understood the importance of the training. So, HR has to fix it and organize an MDP, Managerial Development Program. Or the management doesn't understand. Why management doesn't understand the importance of Managerial Development Program? Because no one presented them this data that because of not having MDP, so many people are leaving the company. So, the solution is show data to the management. Compile data. In total, we lost 100 people last year because of their relationship with managers. The cost of attrition is 15,000 multiplied by 100, which is 1.5 million. And I propose a managerial development program that will cost 25,000, 30,000, 4 days program, so that we reduce this 1.5 million to 1 million or maybe even less. So, you are saving 500,000 by spending 25,000 dirham. Do you think management will now understand? Yes. So, that's how through root cause analysis, we will find the real cause of the problem. Rather than scratching the surface, you are giving the real issues and finding a solution. Next is improve. So let's say you find that, okay, the problem is MDP. Then you have to improve. Improve means you change that system. You then start an MDP training, conduct an MDP program. Now, is there a change in attrition after 3 months of MDP? So your quarterly attrition is, let's say, 5%. After training, the quarterly attrition falls to 3%. What does it mean? There is an improvement, there is a correlation, right? If 3 months we can improve 2, in next 4 months we can improve further 8 to 10%, right? So let's do it. Let's do it more often. So improvement means we do hypothesis testing. We test the hypothesis whether it works or not. If it works, let's do it more. So that's the improvement phase. And then finally we have sustain or control. In control phase, what we do, we create systems that sustain that change. Otherwise, your attrition will go back to the same point in the coming years. So what you do, you create policies, SOPs, like every manager will undergo a managerial development program. It is a mandatory program for every manager. It's a policy of the company. You can't say no. No one can say no. You have to do it. There is no escape from it. Whenever you hire a manager, they have to go through MDP. If they fail in MDP, they are thrown out of the business. Simple, right? So that system will control this problem, and you will not get the same, you will not go to the same place. So your policies, your SOPs, then what you have? KPIs and KRAs. What if I make attrition as part of KRA of managers? That if you have more than 10% attrition in your team, you will not get promotion this year. Or not get additional manpower, or not get any increment, or will not get budget, for example. It will be taken from your budget. Easy thing, right? So whatever attrition you have, that much money we will take from your budget, from your department. Simple. So these kind of policies, KRAs, KPIs will control it. What else we can do? We can set a management report, which I did first time in a company, just to show them how. So in one of the companies I wanted to show them, and they were not believing in Six Sigma and all that. I just showed them one proof. What I did was I started so problem was 20% attrition. My goal was to reduce it to 10%. And I was thinking I will do it within 1 year. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I will do it. The first thing I did was I created a management report. Branch wise, manager wise. Okay? Manager name, John. Quarterly, last year attrition in his department, 100%, which means their entire department got changed. Quarterly attrition, 15%. Next manager, Ahmed. Quarterly attrition, 50%. Or annual attrition last year, 50%. This year, quarterly attrition, 10%. This report went to the management, copy all the managers, all the business leaders from my side. I did not ask anyone in the company. I simply sent the report. Can you imagine what happened after the report? I started getting messages, email and calls. Yogesh, what you have done? Yogesh, what you have done? I said, now you will see the magic of this report. What was the magic? Next quarter. So all those numbers were down next quarter. So manager were, please don't leave. Please leave after next quarter. Don't leave now. Because the CEO will see this report. No, please don't go. Right? So just by setting a right report in the right format can change a lot, isn't it? I remember the first call I got from a manager was a threat that you have just joined, what do you know about our company, and I can understand what you are trying to do, you are trying to show your importance in the company and all that, blah, blah, blah. So I said, no, what, I'm just putting some data. You have any problems with the data? Is this data not right? He said, no, it is right, but you don't know our branch situation. Then I said, explain it to your manager. Don't call me for this. Explain it to your supervisor or your general manager, whosoever you report to. Why you are calling me? Right? I'm not asking you why. I'm just telling you what is the number. Branch-wise, region-wise, manager-wise. Simple. And then of course, that day was eventful. Then the managing director called me immediately. He said, Yogesh, great job, well done, very good report. I will now make sure that within next 3 months you will see a different number. And the managing director started calling people in whatever way he knows the best, right? Because before that, everyone was saying the company have attrition problem, and we need to solve it, and everyone is saying, yeah, we need to solve it. But no one is talking about how to solve it. So there were at least 6 or 7 branch manager where we had 80% to 100% attrition, which means in 1 year they either changed their entire branch or 80% of the people of the branch are changed. How that branch will be profitable, tell me? It is not possible to run a profitable branch where you are changing everyone every year. So that's the point, it actually improves a lot. All we need to do is just know the tool better. So what are the benefits? Customer focused, process oriented, project driven, proactive, promotes better management, and as we discussed, the benefits of Six Sigma.